Perfect. Right. Okay, Sam, do you want to start recording? We are recording. Excellent. Now, it's fair to assume, obviously, I say this every time we do a Stockton MET event, that everyone is used to using Zoom calls now. We've had too many quizzes. Has anyone had a Christmas quiz yet? I'm sure they are well on the way. So if there's a few heads nodding, yes, we had that. We also had an online Christmas party as well, all that sort of stuff. We all know how to use it. So if you could please keep your microphones on mute when you're not contributing to the conversation, then that just makes things move a little bit more smoothly. So that'd be awesome. But obviously, don't let that stop you. If you want to join in the conversation, please do get involved. Just stick your hands in the air, give me a wave, or pop it in the chat box as well. I can always see what's coming up in there if you do want to contribute to anything this evening as we go through. Now, the format for our live event is going to be led by myself, so apologies if you're already sick of my voice droning on. It's going to be supported as well by bid manager Jason Maxwell and wing woman Max Freer from One of a Kind. And of course, most importantly, we could not do this without you. It is, of course, you lot. Now that's all out of the way, sort of the nuts and bolts. As I say, a very warm and festive welcome. This month's MetLife, we're not going to have our usual event format. We normally have a number of guest contributors to help our conversation move along. But actually, we're not going to do that. We're going to open our conversation up to you all to share your positive news. Coming from a year that has been I don't know, at times probably a little less than positive. We really want to celebrate the positive things that have happened for all our attendees over the course of 2020. We're going to talk professionally, we're going to talk personally, and we're also looking to get a New Year's resolution for your business for 2021. So if you haven't already thought of them and you're like, oh no, it's like, you know, when you're back in class and the teacher's going to come to you next, we'll be coming round us later on. There's no pressure. We're all dead relaxed here at the Met, and it's just a load of people hanging out and having a good conversation. But we will be coming around and getting those off you a little bit later. So while you have a little think, and before we jump straight into that, we'll head over to the instrumental force behind Stockton MET, a man who shapes the conversation that's changing Stockton High Street, or certainly helps to do so. It is, of course, business leader Jason Maxwell, who's manager of Stockton Business Improvement District. Now, Jace, you have been the lone voice out in the Tees Valley, really beating that drum, very much like a little drummer boy at this time of the year, making noise in support of independent business, both in Stockton, your Levy district, and throughout the wider region, to be honest. Now, I think if we had to describe Stockton BID in 2020, it would probably be disruptive, chaotic, creative, changing, and certainly growing. And you know, COVID-19 has certainly been felt more within your business community. Just before we go any further, if you haven't turned off your mics, please do that just before I hand over to Jace. Despite the adversities, Jace, do you see the rainbow, and you know, what have been your positive highlights of this year?
Sorry, Matt, I think the noise in the background might be us, so it was me that turned on mute just a little bit too early. I'm certainly not sure I'm the lone voice for the Tees Valley, but possibly one of the voices. And I haven't been called a little drummer boy since I was about 7. And I really appreciate the little comment in there, because there's very little about this. I'm getting bigger by the day, I think. So it has been a difficult year. It has been all of those things that you said. It has been chaotic. It has been difficult, but I think there is a rainbow, and there is shards of a light coming through that I think that we should all pick up on and all look to get hold of going forward for the new year, to be honest. I think there's lots of the positive things that have come out of it are the independent businesses that have managed to pivot and change the things that they've done. We've seen new businesses come out of it. We've seen the way that communities have come together. I mean, if you just look at how our Stockton MET community has grown and developed and are now probably speaking to each other more than we ever have done before. As a business improvement district, we've got more and more businesses that are now engaged with us than they ever have been. And that has got to be good for 2021, because the only way we'll get through what's been a horrific period is by working together, collaborating, and making sure we've got a shared voice.
Absolutely. And you mentioned, that the Met's grown alongside sort of the interactivity on the bid. How instrumental and important has been getting everyone together and getting everyone talking within the Levy district?
I think it's not just the Levy district. I mean, we've talked right across the Tees Valley and across the other networks that I'm involved with. So it's about people talking in general. I mean, from our business community, it's been massively important because that means we've been able to share some of the fantastic stuff that the campaign that we've run, which is our Indie Street Heroes campaign that we've just been running, that hopefully everybody will have seen by now. I think we've now hit 100,000 people or somewhere there or thereabouts. It's been absolutely massive. We can't do those things without people like Max and John, who's one of my directors, and Sean, who's my chair that you can see sat there. All these people have been absolutely instrumental in getting that message out there. So if we don't all talk and work together, those messages won't get through. And it's with those messages that we will go forward in 2021.
Is there one particular thing or campaign or piece of work that you've done that has really been, something you're walking away from this year really proud of, and particularly facing the adversity that everyone's faced, and you kind of come away and go, that worked really well, and you've loved everyone contributing? It was, Indie Street Heroes is a great example. Or is it too hard to pick one, Jace?
It's too hard to pick one, but it's not too hard to pick one theme. And the one theme that we have had is that we've shown the people behind the businesses, whether it's been the Indie Street Heroes or whether it's been the Humans of the High Street. What we have managed to do is to humanize the businesses. So what that's meant is that the people on the high street and the people that are shopping and the consumers have actually seen that it's not just a front door and it's not just a sign above the door. It's Kelly and Brian and it's Jane. It's whoever that business owner is, that they've seen the faces behind the business, and it personalizes, and it means that people get to know them and can go into their businesses and spend money with them. And it's, so for me, it's not a one thing, it's a theme that's spread through it that's made a massive difference to us.
Absolutely. And I mean, in a year, I'm sure if we could go back to, the chime of New Year in January, and if someone said, listen, do you want, yeah, I know, but this is it. I said, do you want this year to happen? I think we'd all go, I'm going to be honest, probably not.
Know what? I'm not sure, because sometimes out of adversity comes great things. And I think if we're going to look forward and we're going to look positively, I think if we hadn't had the pandemic, and nobody wants the amount of people that have died and the amount of people that have suffered, but there has been great things to come out of it as well. The community and the help for the NHS and, everybody pulling together. So rather than say, look, we don't want to go back to that, let's, again, my whole reason for wanting positivity to come out of this is not that we look back on it and say we don't want that to happen. It has happened, and there's loads of positive things to take out of it.
I was just about to say, because as I say, at the start of the year, I think a lot of us would go, well, I'll leave this year. However, what we have seen, and I think as you mentioned before, is the personalization of businesses. And while we've actually been pushed further apart physically, I don't know about you, but I feel closer to a lot of certainly the businesses that I interact with, because as you say, I'm seeing faces, I'm learning about the people behind the business, and it's become a real driving force. And certainly, across Stockton, it's been huge, as you say, getting the face behind the business and really connecting personally. And that is the one thing that would have never happened without this year. Well,
it might have done, but it might have taken a lot longer to get there. Yeah. So what it has done is it spurred us on, and it has made us think all a little bit differently. So we've all had to change the way we do things, to change the way we do business. I mean, I'm sat in the hotel now where we would normally have it with John, and his team have been amazing. And you look at the differences that has been made here to make it COVID safe and all of those things for their guests to come in. And there's been so many good things to come out of it. So yeah, let's focus on those things and the people behind the businesses. But saying that, what we have to do is we have this campaign and we're telling people all about the people behind the businesses, and we need that to carry on. So we do need every person that's on this call to keep championing their high streets, whether it's Stockton, Middlesbrough, wherever it is, keep championing their particular high streets. But it's not just about saying you're going to do it, it's actually hitting the street and going out and doing it. So it's great that we can share it and like it and all those things on social media, but we need people to back it up with actions, and that's going to be the important thing.
Absolutely. And I guess the other thing that's come out this year is we're all much more used to having Zoom calls. You know, we all know how to get ourselves on a Zoom call these days and not film the wall behind us. I mean, Richie there is doing it from his car. I mean, that's next level. You know, it's very dark and quite creepy, Richie, but it's lovely to have you along. We can get along wherever we are these days. We can be together. Now, before we go any further, it's worth mentioning that this is the end of year 2 of Stockton MET. It's absolutely flown, and we're delighted to announce that the MET 2021 dates, yes, we are finally into a new year. They are now live on Eventbrite, so you can find them, you can book them, you can tell everyone else that you think might benefit and be interested in joining Stockton MET in the new year. Now, I can do a little look through who we've got, because as always, we are welcoming brand new people to Stockton MET this evening through the door. The new faces we've got, if you want to give us a little wave, we've got James Barwick, who's from Middlesbrough College. Hi, James. We've got Richie Bedard from Stockton Council. He's, as I mentioned there, Richie is in the car. We've got Chris Bibby. I'm not sure if he's arrived yet, but he is scheduled to arrive. Not with us just yet. Chris is coming from Cornerstone Business Solutions. I've got Michelle Dawson from Middlesbrough and Stockton Mind. Hi, Michelle. Lovely to have you with us. Thank you for joining us. Abigail Fletcher from 11th Hour Beauty. Abigail, if you want to give everyone a wave. Can't quite see. Oh, my screen's lost people. We've also got Jordan Lockwood from Next Level Security. Hi, Jordan. Nice to have you along. Jordan, you had to have a good camera, didn't you? Because I mean, that's what you guys do, I'm pretty sure. We've Jen Tomlin from Stockton Council, unfortunately couldn't be with us tonight. She needs to go to Jordan and find some new camera stuff because it's all blown up and she can't be with us this evening. Zoe Turner from Santander. Zoe, hi, lovely to see you here at Stockton MET as well. As I say, joining all of our other contributors. And we will be going around, everyone, as I say, getting your positive notes from 2020, and also looking forward to a brand new year, what your business New Year's resolutions are. Before we do that, let's join CEO of Catalyst, John Carling, who also one of our new faces this evening. Lovely to have you along with us, John. Thank you so much for joining us. We wanted to hear about the current project that you're setting up, which is to help some of the voluntary community get more IT enabled by donating, or I say cleaned up PCs to them, which I guess is a good news story for the coming year, isn't it?
Absolutely. I'm here with Michelle Dawson, who will also say quite a lot about this. Catalyst, thank you very much for the opportunity to come along tonight. It's brilliant, and this sounds like a really good group of people to be working with. Our role, we're a registered charity, we're also a business, is to work with the whole spectrum of community groups and voluntary sector organisations across Stockton. Anything from big organisations like Age UK or Barnardo's to, maybe Norton Sports Club or a community group on Rosewood and so on. We bring those organisations together to identify solutions to the issues that they face. And a big one this year, and it's something which has been alluded to already, has been digital exclusion. It's about people who are not used to using IT, not used to using Zoom, perhaps never have done. There might be some financial issues that form a barrier to that, but enabling them to get online, access services which might not be available in any other way, and talk to their loved ones. So we're doing a lot of work around that. Michelle, in particular, has done is leading a fantastic project that will deliver IT solutions to a lot of people who don't have those solutions at the moment. And maybe I'll hand over to Michelle to say a bit more about it.
Hi, thanks, John. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay, so my name's Michelle. I work for Middlesbrough and Stockton Mind. I lead projects in Middlesbrough mainly. The biggest one is a project called Aging Better Middlesbrough, which is a massive lottery-funded programme that's about reducing loneliness and isolation for older people. I chair something called the Digital Development Partnership, which was set up because what we realised really quickly in lockdown was there was way more people who were digitally excluded than we had first thought. So as a little percentage, and I can only give Middlesbrough statistics, but of the people that phoned the Middlesbrough helpline when the lockdown happened, of the people that phoned Middlesbrough Council for help, 72% had no access to the internet. So 72% of the people who most needed help when lockdown happened had no access to the internet at all. And those statistics were quite scary. So we brought a partnership together to try and start solving some of the systemic problems around digital inclusion. So the biggest barriers being access to a device, any device, a smartphone, a tablet, a laptop, a desktop, any device at all. Access to the internet, obviously Wi-Fi is really expensive. Most people, a lot of people we work with can't afford Wi-Fi. So how do you get connectivity to people, even if you can get them a device? And then access to the right support and skills and buddying and mentoring to enable people to access the internet, especially older people. What we're talking to you about today is the first strand, which is access to a device. So what we managed to get hold of is about £20,000 to start the build of an online platform with the support of a local private sector company called Comply IT. So the idea is going to be that, and the platform is about 3/4 of the way built, that businesses like yourselves who have digital kit that you might be getting rid of because you're upgrading yours, or you might be donating it somewhere, or you might need it to be, because usually most businesses pay for kit to be cleaned or refurbished or recycled professionally. This Comply IT will take your kit for free. After you've uploaded it, the details of it onto our platform, they'll come and pick it up. They will provide all of the legal requirements for the recycling or refurbishment or cleaning of your kit. And then Comply IT will donate 50% of either the profits from selling your dismantled kit or 50% of the kit back to the partnership. And we will have that uploaded on the website, and then third sector and voluntary organisations will be able to apply for devices for their community groups, their beneficiaries, their patients, their customers, the members of the public. So what we're trying to create is a sustainable way of ensuring that digital devices are available to people who can't afford them. And that's any people, that's families, older people, lots of people locally. We have a lot of poverty in Teesside. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that. And this is a way of kind of a win-win-win situation. So the businesses get their digital equipment disposed of for free. The IT companies involved get regular business, of which they keep 50% of either the profits or the devices that they can sustain their business. And the voluntary sector gets access to refurbished, appropriate devices that can be redistributed to people who need them, who can't afford them. That's
amazing.
The plan. We are about 20 grand in, and we're looking for about another £10,000, not from you guys. I'm not here to ask you for money, but we are trying to source an extra £10,000 to get the device over the finish line, which we're hoping will happen in about February, New Year, if we can find the money from various different places. It's a multi-agency partnership, so councils, 13 Housing Association, Teesside University, lots of different organisations involved. We're here just basically to be able to say to you, actually right now we're in a position where if you have digital equipment, or if you want to come on board with this partnership, we want you to consider this, our partnership, as an option rather than reaching out to your usual contracted digital device people that you might use, for instance, because we can offer you this service for free whilst it being quite philanthropic in its nature.
Amazing. I mean, it sounds fantastic, Michelle. So basically, if people want to get involved, just get in touch with you. And how can they really help you then? Just is it donating all the equipment or money? Which is what do we need?
Both. We need money and we need old equipment. We need money and we need old equipment, because a lot of what's happened through COVID is a lot of emergency response. So people have bought devices, maybe, you know, and you might have donated money for devices yourselves as businesses and handed them out. And that's great, except the need for this is just continuous. It's not a sustainable thing. So what we're looking for is the funding to get this platform off the ground, so that we can create a sustainable model rather than an emergency model, if that makes sense. And then what we want is you to share the information with your networks and with your partners, so that we can get as many people involved as possible, and we can prove that there's a real benefit to everybody from working together to kind of bridge the gap around digital inclusion locally, which is way bigger than we anticipated that it was actually.
Yeah.
Have you got anything to add to that, John? Sorry, I didn't know whether, is there anything you want to?
Not really. Again, pleased to be a conduit on this. If you want to get in touch, then happy to. And if you have devices that you want to drop off anywhere, again, then we could take those.
Awesome. That sounds absolutely great. Well, thank you for coming along and letting us know about it. Jace, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, just quickly, just to say that, you know, some of those figures that Michelle and John have talked about there, where 72% of people that are in need that didn't have a device or couldn't get online, it's quite scary, really. That surprised me massively. I think they were the numbers. So to everyone, I think it's just a really good project to get behind. So I think, you know, where we can support sort of the voluntary sector, certainly through people like John and Catalyst, I think it's really important that we do from a community point of view, that where we can help the voluntary sector, then absolutely let's go for it. What we are saying, this isn't a sales pitch, because I know we've said in the past that we wouldn't do that, and we'd never do sales pitch. What this is for everybody else is that this is a project that needs to be talked about, and I think there's a big difference in some of the things that we've done previously. So I would really suggest people support it where they can.
Not looking for money, we're looking for your connections, and if any of you are aware of other digital kind of device refurbishment companies, at the moment we have Comply IT on board, but we think that we're going to need a variety of companies who want to come on board, and there's a real business benefit that we can start to demonstrate from this project in terms of kind of a kind of philanthropic but also a profit perspective. So if you are aware of any other companies that do this work, we'd really like to reach out and contact them and see if they want to be involved, because awesome. It is a true partnership. Thank you.
Brilliant. Michelle, John, thank you so much. It's a fantastic initiative, and as Jay's saying, you know, 72%. It's a statistic that probably a lot of us didn't know existed, and I think that more than ever this year, it's really come to the fore. So great work, and I'm sure everyone will do as much as they can to not only help contribute but raise awareness and spread the word throughout our network. So we really appreciate you coming on this evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, hopefully all of you have seen our Indie Street Heroes campaign. It's the seasonal marketing campaign by Stockton BID. It already exceeded expectations, as Jason mentioned at the start of this evening's session. It's running across multiple digital channels. The Indie Heroes can be seen in selfie vids promoting what they do best or what they love best. For a quick update, I'll tell you what, let's head over to Max, who is the creative director. That's Max Freer at Ook. I'm sure you're well aware of who Max is. How's the campaign gone overall? I know Jace touched on it, and I'll bring him in a moment, I'm sure. But yeah, how has it been for you?
I'm just, I'm doing all the comments in the chat at the moment. Yeah, the campaign is, part of the rationale for the campaign was that we are aware there are a lot of businesses that are not digitally enabled, which sort of probably picks up some of Michelle's point there. So, and we've got a lot of other businesses that are digitally enabled, so they're operating on multiple sites like Facebook, Instagram, Etsy, eBay. They'll have their own website. So the challenge for us really, wasn't it, Jace, was that we had to come up with a campaign message in a lockdown where potentially shops were shut, and we couldn't actively be encouraging people to come into a town centre and shop because we didn't quite know where the kind of messaging was going to be with COVID and the lockdowns. So for us as a creative agency, it was a real challenging brief. So we've all got access to a mobile phone, or perception is we do have access, but Michelle and John have kind of clarified some of that for us. And we just got the businesses to enable their own messages to create some authentic original content, to humanise the Go Local message, which is much more than just a message. It's a movement. You know, we need to move away from the reliance of big brands, and I'll say the big word, the A word, the Amazon ones, and we need to go back to a sense of community. And I think what this campaign has helped us do is it's been able to bring all of those, not just retail businesses, but service-led organisations like High Station, like the beauty ones, into one space where they can be the collective sort of sum of their parts, want for a better phrase. And then what we've been able to do is then package that back out to the general public and the consumers, so then they can see all these indie heroes in one central space. And so far the campaign's exceeded all expectations. We're over 100,000 views now. We're probably going to get 110, and the campaign's only been running 3 weeks. So yeah, so it's not without the efforts of people like Jason. I've got to credit Sean as well, who's on the call, Sean Dowd. Both Sean and Jace allow Ook to do what we're really good at, and they don't dictate anything to us. We work collaboratively. So yeah, it's been a really great campaign, and we hope to continue that into the new year.
Yeah, can I just jump in, Matt, and just echo a lot of those. And I think a lot of the things that we wanted to say, we said earlier to a certain degree with, you know, it's about getting to know the people behind the businesses, but all of the things we can't do, all of the things we do, we can't do on our own as a bid, because although we've got amazing directors, chairperson, I've got Sean that sat with me here, sorry, Sean and John that we've got on the call here now. We can't do any of it if we don't work collaboratively with people like the rest of the businesses, with Max, with Dawn McNamara, the photographer, who's been brilliant, with people like Wonder Film. You know, these are about, they are a business community all coming together to improve the area that we've got. And that's why we do it. That's why we work like we do. Some of the ideas we come up with, we chuck on a pile because we think actually they're too out there at the minute. They're just completely off the wall and we couldn't get there. But you know what? If we get voted back in May, we probably will see some different styles of campaigns that you haven't seen before. And some of the people that are, some of the things that you see around the country, I think we could do that, and we've done that, and we've done it differently and probably better. And you'll still see that coming in the next year or so. So watch this space for that. But thank you for everybody for being involved in the Indie Street campaign, and Max and Sam and Dawn, whoever's been involved, because it's been brilliant. And 100,000 people seeing it. You know, I've had phone calls from all over the country saying, how have we done that? It's brilliant. Congratulations on that. So, you know, really, really well done to everybody involved.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure everyone will agree. If you've seen it across all social medias, I've seen loads on Instagram. It does look absolutely fantastic, and you know, a lot of our Indie Street heroes out there doing their bit. Just to, Max, have you had or Jace, have you seen quite an impact on actual people going down to the shops, you know, or buying from our independent street heroes?
I wouldn't like to say that that's had a direct impact on footfall into the high street, because that's low still at the moment. And we've had a number of businesses that have said that actually when they reopened, that people have been in and talked about it, and to say, oh, I've seen you. So from that point of view, that's definitely happened. You know, and that's happened right across the board. And even the positive comments like, that's my favourite shop, let's do that, let's do that. Some of it has been really, really positive. So I wouldn't say it's had a direct influence on people walking into the high street, but people have definitely seen the stuff. So it will do going forward. Absolutely.
Well, I think for me, it's been really nice to see, as you say, not just the people from the shops, you know, the sellers themselves, but also other people recommending their favorite shops. It's just been really nice. I think I've discovered a few shops I didn't even know were there. I'm like, oh, I must go there, or oh, I must pop in there. And you know, even if I haven't been into High Street yet, it's like, right, well, I'll have a look at the stuff online for Christmas gifts, and then hopefully get down there at some point. So I think it's been wonderful. Yeah,
Max, I'm going to jump in first. Yeah. To be fair, we had a day where we took Matt Vickers, who's our local MP, onto our high street, and I'm sure everyone's probably seen the videos and the interviews with him. And we took him round, and we had conversations with about 8 or 9 businesses, and him as a local MP did not know they were there, and he's the local MP for the town centre. So if they don't know they're there, many other people don't. So there are still people that are seeing independent businesses that don't know they're there, and we have to change this attitude of, there's nothing on our high streets, there's nothing there anymore, because there absolutely is. But what we are doing is we are showcasing as many of them as we possibly can.
Absolutely, yeah. Max, did you have a point you wanted to make there as well?
Yeah, it was just really to say that, you know, the way consumer behaviour is right now, and it's moving more and more that way, is the click and collect. It's very easy. So the natural default is to look to a digital proposition to find something out, if that's to, you know, for a restaurant, you know, something to eat, whatever. So I think with this campaign, what we knew in the first lockdown is that that whilst consumers want to support a go local message, or businesses do, you need to be able to enable those audiences to act on that. So what Indie Heroes has actually done, whilst it's been an awareness campaign, it's allowed members of the public, when you shout and go local, spend local, keep your money local, if you don't give them a mechanism and a methodology to do that, then they can't do it. So the quickest and fastest way we could do that remotely was to create Indie Street Heroes, and let the businesses tell their own story. So yeah, it's been a good success, and hopefully we know that this has been a first of its kind marketing program in the UK. So maybe more other towns or cities across the UK will follow this as a case study.
Absolutely, and Jace mentioned there that there might be some plans for the new year as well. Do you want to let us anything sneaky?
No. We've got some really good stuff, and we'll just keep it under wraps for the time being. But we're subject to a fluid landscape, and so we've got to respond creatively to that challenge. And Jace and I have had many conversations, and I've said, as a creative company, we cannot do nothing because the town's closed. It's like going to a doctor and saying I've got a headache, and the doctor can't give you a prescription. As a creative company, you just can't say you can't come up with something. It's just not good enough. So yeah, so it's been great. Thanks.
Absolutely brilliant. No worries. It was worth trying to get something out of you, but never mind. I knew that would go nowhere. Now I was going to have a little chat with Chris Bibby actually now, but he's not in our meeting this afternoon. I just wanted to find out why he decided to come along to the Met, because it's the first time. So I'll tell you what I will do. We've got plenty of newbies in the room this evening, and if I just flick through my paper, how about Jordan from Next Level Security? Jordan, it's lovely to have you with us. Just wanted to find out what had brought you to the Met and what you're sort of hoping to gain from this experience.
Hi everyone, can you all hear me? I'm not too sure if it's clear. I know the camera's clear, but yeah, perfect. No, it's great to obviously meet everyone. I say the word meet loosely, albeit virtually. I wanted to join the Met just to find out a little bit more about what's going on in Stockton, especially other businesses. I think when you're working in your own business, you get a very sort of tunnel vision. And I just, like I said, I want to start with the whole networking thing. You may have met Jane or Derek. I know they've done this in the past on behalf of Next Level. So it's something that I'm new to. And yeah, want to sort of dip my toes in and meet other people from other businesses and network as such.
Perfect. Well, Jordan, I hope that you're enjoying the experience so far. I'll tell you what, I might as well start with you, because what we're going to do now is we're going to swing round our attendees, because we wanted to finish the Met Live 2020 on a positive note, as I mentioned, with a small contribution from each and every one of you. For our Met newbies, we obviously want you to be a huge part of this as well. Just basically a brief comment, what's been your positive thing to take away from 2020? Now I know you might be like, oh no, I'm not sure, but I think what we've been trying to do with Stockton Met is trying to really emphasize the positives in a situation that's not felt, as I said, very positive at times. So a little positive thing maybe on a business level, positive thing on a personal level, and then what you're sort of looking forward to 2021. Have you got any New Year's resolutions for the business? We might as well start with you, Jordan, as I'm bending your ear already.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's definitely been a strange year. I think with it being the security industry, we've actually flourished off the back of that with all the COVID. We've sort of doubled our manpower as such. So in terms of business development and going forward, COVID's actually benefited us. On a personal note, I've just, to be fair, this is what I've been doing today. I've just gone back to university. So that's a challenge as well. I've started an MBA. So my workload has gone from here to here. Going into 2021, we sort of want to, keep that momentum going. We've recently gone through a reaccreditation, and to be fair, we've just got the highest standard, the Diamond Standard, and we're one of the first security companies in the country to be awarded that. So it's just a case of sort of carrying on with that momentum going into 2021.
Brilliant. Great news. Congratulations for everything that you've done this year. Good luck at uni as well.
Thank you very much.
Do you get a freshers week now or not?
Albeit virtual, yeah.
Right, yeah. Just not the same, really, is it? Just
not the same, no. It's all the Zoom and Teams, and it's something that we're all quite used to now, isn't it?
Yeah. Everyone on non-alcoholic beer going, yeah, I've drank 5 already. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, Jordan, thanks for sharing with us. It's lovely to have you.
Thank you.
Along with us. Now, I'm going to go through. I'm just going to do it through my screen, actually, rather than going alphabetically or anything else. I'll go down my screen, and you'll get to learn where you are on my screen. If you want to just introduce yourself and tell us who your business is or who you're representing this evening, and then obviously crack on with your positivity and hopes for the new year as well. So I'll start with Sean Dowd. You're first on my screen, Sean. So if you want a little intro, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think as a few people have mentioned, I'm the chair of Stockton BID. I'm also Deputy Chief Executive of ARC in Stockton. Positivity, I think, is there's lots to share, to be honest. It's very easy to look at all the, I think we've touched on the gloom and the impact of the pandemic. For me, I think from an ARC point of view, it's been very positive to how the team has kind of, first of all, coped with the situation, being out of the building for the best part of the year. We've still managed to maintain contact with a lot of people who need contact, and it's kind of brought our digital performance on massively. Being able to stream shows and shows that we can actually still do, and just different content that we've been able to still get out to people. So that's kind of, for us, I think, digitally, next year there's a big positive opportunity. We're all about change. It's kind of, we're always looking forward anyway. I think we pride ourselves on being very good at that fast moving change. It's been very fast this year because we've obviously had to. We've been forced on like everybody else. But just generally, I think from a big point of view, I have been quite removed from it this year. First of all, I was furloughed for about 3 or 4 months, so I wasn't really actively involved, although still in regular contact with Jace. And then I've been I've been sick for about 3 months. I'm just actually my second meeting back, so it's good to be back. So it'll be nice to kind of, for me personally, to be involved a lot more, because I've been very much on the back foot. But it's been good to see the work that's kind of carried on. I've seen strength. I've been involved with the BID the very start, and I've seen the growth and the change in that over the last few years. And I think the collaborations that we have now with Max and the team at Hook, and as Jason's mentioned, Wonder and other people, particularly bringing Jace on board, seen a real strength. And I did see, while I was furloughed throughout the summer when the businesses were returning, I think around about June, July time, Jason was there at the coalface and he was talking to people, and I've seen a massive shift in relationship, between the businesses and the BID. So I think that next year I want to see that kind of really cemented, the positive kind of impact Jason's made and that them relationships, hopefully to grow this community and see kind of the, as we come through it and come out of it, there will be lots of opportunities, as Jason mentioned. Hopefully we'll see that grow and see new shoots and new businesses and new projects and kind of a bit of giving back, like John had mentioned the project. So yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunity. I'm very optimistic. I think first of all, being able to work is going to be a bonus. So yeah, all good.
Brilliant, Sean. Thank you very much. Lovely to have you back on the meeting, and look forward to seeing more of you going forward as well. Now, I'm aware we've got about 15 minutes left, just over 15 minutes, and I've got at least 15 people to get through. So we're going to have to sort of do it a bit like speed dating now, which is, you never thought we'd be doing that in the Stockton MET event this evening, I'm sure. So we're about a minute each if we can, as we rattle through it. Some people will be like, oh, that's fantastic. Some people are like, no, I've got 10 minutes to do, but we'll keep it around about a minute. I'll keep my chat to the minimum. So Cheryl Spears, you're up next if you want to intro yourself and let us know.
Hi guys, I'm Cheryl Spears and I'm one of the directors of Lucid Technologies and our new software application. And basically, we can't complain. We're in the same situation as Chris and the guys at iStation. We do everything technology, so we've had the best year we've ever had because people have finally embraced the technology that we've been asking them to for years. In regards to New Year's resolutions for the business, it's to get more clients for Work Track and to spread the Work Track around that name more, because we have been around for 30 years. We are the longest established company in the area. So people know who we are anyway, but they don't know who Work Track is. So that's sort of my aim. Trying to keep that short and sweet for you.
Awesome, Cheryl, perfect. And you managed to wrap that up perfectly. Have you been speed dating before? Because that was absolutely, absolutely bob on.
Every day. Zoom networking every day.
Matt, I like the fact that when you said, have you been speed dating, there was a huge sigh first. It was the sigh that was the killer. And
I know, yeah.
Yeah, let's go back to face. Can't wait.
Yeah, it doesn't say much. Doesn't say much for the.
Cheryl, you'll be fine.
It doesn't say much for those dates. If they're watching this on YouTube later on, then you know it didn't work. Okay, Jane, if you'd like to fire away, that'd be great. Oh, you'll have to unmute yourself as well, Jane, if that's okay. This is the one moment I'm not going to make everyone mute themselves.
I'm Jane Campbell and I'm from Hi-Fi Sound. We Hi-Fi business down by the River Tees. We've been very fortunate this year because we have a big online presence, so we've been able to keep on operating. It's been trickier. But we've had our best year so far, which is pretty good. We do regard ourselves very fortunate. In terms of the new year, then it would be great. Obviously, we want everyone to stay healthy and everything to improve, so that if we can. I mean, we are open now, but we want people to be able to come and see us because we've got fantastic premises that we just refurbished 2 years ago. But as I say, we can't complain at all. In terms of my personal goals, I've been trying to buy local, support the businesses in Stockton in the local and buy British as well is the other thing I've been trying to do. So they're my sort of goals, and obviously just as I say, everybody to stay healthy and keep busy. So there you go, that's us.
Brilliant, thank you, Jane, and we all can't wait to come down and visit your shiny new premises because we've not had the chance to see them this year, so we look forward to that. John, do you want to? I mean, we've already spoke to you a little bit earlier, John, but let's swing back over to yourself.
Okay, thanks very much, Matt. John Canning from Catalyst, voluntary sector infrastructure organisation in Stockton. The best thing for me this year has been working with volunteers. We've been working with some amazing people who've given up the time to help people with responding to the pandemic. So lots of shopping being delivered, lots of prescriptions being delivered, lots of friendly voices at the end of the phone. There's been a real drive to volunteer to help people in Stockton this year. It's made a huge difference. Big thank you to everybody who's been involved. And for next year, it's all about continuing that and doing all of it.
Brilliant. Thanks so much, John. And again, thank you for coming on and telling us about the fantastic project that you are currently undertaking. Suzanne, you are next on my screen. If you want to unmute yourself and tell us a little bit about your 2020 and going forward as well.
Yeah, hi everybody. So I'm making my debut. I'm the manager of HSBC in Stockton High Street. It's great to join this Zoom. Jason, I think we met in February and I don't think I've seen you since, so I have made it just before the year's out. I have been on a project for 6 months, so I haven't been with the team, but I'm really proud that as key workers, we've remained open and we've helped a lot of vulnerable customers, a lot of elderly customers as well, and a lot of customers that just, needed to come in because they weren't digitally enabled with the banking. New Year's resolutions, I really liked what Jane said about shopping, British and local. And my resolution is for future presents, I'm definitely going to support local businesses with either a gift voucher or whatever that is. So hello everybody, this is my first Zoom. Back to you, Matt.
Fantastic, thanks Suzanne. Wow, we did that kind of like a Eurovision thing there, wasn't it? We handed it over to each other. Lovely, perfect. Nil point for me. 10 points for Suzanne. Richie, you're back in the car. You've been busy stopping people trying to park in the market access there and running around. So that was great. That was like a live action police chase what I was witnessing on there. But do you want to intro yourself? Let us know a bit about yourself and obviously 2020 and 2021.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Yes, I'm currently the weirdo sat in my car talking to myself. So I'm getting a few dodgy looks as I'm sat in Thornby Town Centre car park. And yes, I have been jumping out the car and stopping people, blocking the access so the vehicles can't get stuck, can't get off the markets. So yeah, obviously I'm the markets manager for Stockton Council. I manage the markets of our 3 market towns, Stockton, Birmingham and Thornaby. And we've touched on a lot about the community aspect that COVID has sort of brought on this year, and that's what us as a market authority are going to push a lot this coming year. We've done a little bit of work with Middlesbrough and Stockton MET on Saturday on our markets. I know Michelle's left, but we've got a little video going out on our social media pages probably tomorrow, showing about, obviously we provided them with space on our markets. We've had St Patrick's School, secondary school on Thornbury Market today. They've earned £1,000 for their school and charities. So again, we're going to do a big push on making our markets a community hub and a social gathering point for people. So that is our, obviously, as well as filling them up to as much as capacity as we possibly can. But yeah, brilliant. Very positive things. Markets are doing quite well considering. So yeah, onwards and upwards, I think, for 2021.
Great, perfect message for 2021. I'm gonna.
I know we're short of time, but I just want to say a massive thank you to Rich for his Indie Street Hero video for the markets, to support the markets, because it was one of the best videos that we absolutely had. And the views on it have been, I don't know, I think there's been a few thousand now, but Rich doing that was an absolute star, and he's the one that gets seen most because it's Wednesday and Saturday. So Rich, thank you very much for doing that, and long may that video be out there to see you over the Christmas.
Yeah, that's an indifferent comment to what I've heard of most people. Yeah, I've had a bit of stick. It was worth it.
Well done, mate. Thank you.
I mean, just a quick one to Jason, not on the market trader ones. They're going down a storm. So that the ones that Sam come and done last week, there's 3 traders at a time. There'll be more coming out. So yeah, they're going down great. So well done.
Cheers, Rich.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Richie. And now I will head from HSBC. We're swinging over to Santander, Zoe Turner. And do you want to tell me a little bit about 2020 and 2021?
Hi, nice to meet everybody. I've taken over from Tony Granger in Stockton branch. I've not been able to spend a great deal of time there, so I've just spent a few days. I should have been over there from May, but obviously the world looks very different. This year, yes, you can get caught up in the doom and gloom, and I've had some very challenging conversations, telephone calls with businesses, but as well, it's the positives that you've got to cling on to, such as the support that we've given to businesses with the bounce back loan, the way that we've responded to customers that were struggling to access that money. I've spoken to customers, helped them with applications. We've launched a Survive and Revive program. So we've got businesses that were advertising in our branches. We were the first online bank with our bounce back loan application. Positives for me is the fact that I've been able to continue to work through this. I'm so grateful for self-employed customers, for businesses. My heart goes out to them. It's easy for me coming into work every day, getting paid. It's very different for them. So, always try to be there at the end of the phone as well, which is a great positive for us as well, that we are actually here and able to speak to our customers and be there. And for me, a New Year's resolution going forward is, I think, because we can be very, very busy, I think as well, hopefully next year, that's not going to be the case. I think we're going to have more time now to spend with customers. And it's about maybe not trying to tick people off a list like sometimes you can do, but actually making sure that you do spend the time and just ask that extra question. I think we can all be guilty of just, trying again to just get through your list. I think next year is going to bring us some more time, which is going to be good.
Brilliant. Thank you, Zoe. Okay, swinging over to the guys at iStation. Meet yourselves and let us know a bit.
Afternoon, everybody.
Yeah, and you're looking for your highlights of 2020 and obviously your business New Year's resolution.
So 2020 has obviously been a challenging year for everybody, and I'd just like to echo first of all Sean's comment about Jason. Jason's been down on the ground all the time, a face when people needed it on the high street. So I'd just like to say thanks to Jason first of all. For us, it's been a very busy year. We've had the challenges that all the other businesses have had. We've had to support a lot of our business customers moving from business premises to working from home. And on our point of view, we've been migrating our old premises to a new one, which is where we are at the moment, which has taken us over a year. We've had various challenges with trades and infrastructure and all sorts of stuff, but When they say that the high streets are obviously in trouble, you know, we've tripled the size of our retail business and our business to business business, and we've put that effort and that cost and that investment into Stockton because we wanted to stay here. We wanted to, you know, improve what we do here. So it has been a challenging year, but there's a big positive out of it. You know, we've got to our new retail store, and going forward in 2020, we've just been recognised as an independent Apple repair provider. Sorry, and we're one of the only ones in the UK from a retail perspective. We've already had a business to business Apple certification for about 7 years, so this accolade for us is quite big. Which means we can do everything in terms of what Apple do in a normal Apple retail store, we can do here as well in Stockton. So that's quite massive for us. What that's brought ahead is we need more staff. So what we're going to try and do is the staff that we bring into the business, we want to bring in people that have had a bad experience through an employer where they've been made redundant for whatever reason through issues with COVID. So if anybody, you know, out there knows of anybody who's looking for work and wants to work in the technology area, especially what we do, we're giving, you know, full-on Apple training to anybody that we take on this year and into 2021. So that's kind of our resolution and our what's happened in 2020.
There's been some great stuff. It's more than you can fit into a minute, isn't it? That's the only problem, because everyone's got so many good things going on. From one sort of brilliant background at iStation there, which kind of looks like some kind of Star Trek super ship, I think, in the background. I absolutely love it. So another great background on my screen, James Barwick, with a fantastic decorated Christmas tree behind you. Do you want to enjoy yourself and let us know a few things?
Yeah, it wasn't planned at all. Yeah, I'm the employee engagement coordinator for our adult learning department at Middlesbrough College. So I've been in the role about 6 weeks now. So I'm just trying to reach out to sort of network to see what's about in the region and things. So we offer free courses to unemployed adults who come to us, and things like SIA, customer service, warehousing, construction, loads and loads of things. And I suppose the positive is, despite the times, we've still managed to get a lot of people back into work who really wanted to be in work. And that's really positive news considering the sort of year we've had. And I suppose going forward, the numbers are really good for January. We've still got lots of people coming through the door, looking to, you know, really positive about getting back into work, and hopefully 2021 is going to be a lot better year for everyone. So again, it's just keeping that ball rolling, making sure that we're working with a lot of businesses in the area, which is what I really want to do. Making sure our offering is the best it can be in terms of adult learning, and yeah, hopefully getting a lot of people back to where they want to be, which is back in work really. On a personal level, it's been very strange really. I worked from home for 6 months in my previous job, and then kind of found a new job, and then I was back out to work again at the college. So it was really strange having to like go out and talk to other people again, which is a very strange experience after just being at home with my wife and my dogs for about 6 months, which is really weird. But yeah, just keep positive, keeping going. Hopefully next 2021 is going to be a really good year for everybody. So
excellent. I'm sure we all echo those thoughts, James. Lovely to have you with us, and lovely to hear that you're getting out of the house and not just talking to the wife and the dogs, and although I'm sure they are absolutely lovely as well. Alan, we'll swing over to you now if you want to unmute yourself.
Good evening. I'm Alan Geddes, representing Middlesbrough Football Club Foundation. As like everybody, we've had a really traumatic year. A lot of our projects were stopped because of obviously COVID. We're working a lot in schools, etc., and things like that. So we had to refocus, and one of the ways that we did focus on was with regard to working within the communities, and we've managed this year to deliver over 35,000 food parcels to Teesside communities, which has seen our volunteer sort of workforce increase, and it's got us out and about a lot more. And one of the positives of that is it's increased our awareness and made people, not just the people within the community, but also the local businesses, made them a lot more aware of the foundation and the work we do. It is quite diverse, and we do lots of different things. So that's been fantastic. My New Year's resolution is that I'm going to stay away from the football ground, because basically we're doing very well. We're not allowed in, obviously, but even if we are allowed in, I'm going to stay away because we're doing really good at the moment. So fingers crossed that this might be our year under the leadership of God Neil Warner. So fingers crossed for that. But anybody and everybody that has helped us, thank you very much for your support and your continued support throughout. And hopefully we'll get to see each other in 2021, and it will be a start of a really, really fresh new year.
Fantastic. Alan, lovely to hear from you. Stay away from the ground, please, up the borough. We'll move on to Michelle. I know we've just slipped towards 5 o'clock now, so apologies, we are going to run slightly late, and I know some people might have to bob off, but if you can hang with us for sort of an extra 5 minutes, then we'd love to have you. Michelle, do you want to introduce yourself and your bits from 2020 and you're looking forward to 2021?
Yeah, so Michelle Ball, Butterwick Hospice now. I've been here for 6 weeks, I think it is. So my year in the past, I spent the middle part of the year on furlough with Middlesbrough College. Hi, James. We don't know each other, but hello. Yes, and then that 5 months on furlough made me really sit back and think. Been over the college for 2 decades. But I made the move, the job come up, made the jump, now with Butterwick Hospice. Fab move. Looking forward, 2021. A bit like everybody else, really, isn't it? I need to get out. I can't do this remote anymore. It's driving me insane. I need to get out and meet people. You know, even if we have to meet in a park and go and walk and talk at the same time, that would be brilliant. Moving forward for the hospice, it is to maintain, build and grow our corporate partnerships. If anybody wants to have a chat with me before or after Christmas, please do. I'm sure we can work in all ways. It isn't just about giving us money, albeit, yes, as a charity, that's what we like to get. But there is all different ways you can support us as well. So, but yeah, that's it. Nice and short and sweet.
Thanks, Michelle. Lovely to hear from you. And I'm sure there will be lots of people who get in touch to support the Butterwick going forward, because I know everyone has it very close to their heart.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed, absolutely. Carol, I can't see you, but if you are there, just want to unmute yourself and let us know your bits from 2020 and looking forward to 2021 if you fancy it. No, that's okay. I'll move on to the next person on my screen. It's Sophie. Sophie, a regular here at Stockton MET.
No.
For anyone who doesn't know, oh, actually, it's Carol there. Okay.
Carol's I'm there. Sorry.
It's okay, Carol. Right, go for it.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Yeah, just quickly. Thanks. I work in the Newcastle Building Society, the Yarm branch, which is in the library. So it's a brilliant collaboration with the library itself. We've overcome certain difficulties. First lockdown, we did shut because the library was shut. Second lockdown, even though the library couldn't allow customers in, they could do a click and collect, service. So we were allowed to open, which was great, for customers in Yarm and a bit of a wider area. Yarm itself, like Stockton, has suffered the loss of retail outlets over the recent years. But again, like Stockton, it's really pushing sort of the independent businesses, which is great to see. And there's a lovely, community spirit in Yarm, which is great. Personally, I live in Fairfield, so I've been able to rediscover things like Rockner Park. I've actually walked to Preston Park instead of driving there. And again, supporting like local businesses, like say the Village Deli, takeaways from the Masham, that kind of thing. So I think that's been a real positive, that it's made us all rediscover our immediate area a lot more this year. As for next year, work-wise, we would hope to get back to more of our work in the community. Staff do 2 days volunteering a year, plus we give out community grants. So I think that's something that we'd really like to sort of push forward again once restrictions are relaxed a bit more. Thank you.
Awesome, thanks, Carol. As I mentioned before, I'm going to come to Sophie. I've just seen that Chris Bibby has popped up as well. It's lovely to have you with us, Chris. I know you were joining us, so we're dead pleased that you could come to us. I shall come to you next to get your highlights of 2020 and going forward. Sophie, let's do yours.
Hi everyone, I'm Sophie from Archer's Law. I look after the marketing and business development. Sticking on Alan's theme, I think a positive is definitely Neil Warnock taking over Middlesbrough. I think that's definitely boosted everyone this year. But no, from a kind of business perspective, we've been in a really fortunate position with obviously the legal services that we offer, that people still require those. And I think a positive is that the team's really come together and we've really worked hard to make the building COVID secure so that we can still have the face-to-face contact with everyone as opposed to doing it over Zoom. We obviously deal with some sensitive matters and various different things like that. So I think that's really been a positive, that we've been able to still see clients, albeit with masks in a very safe way. And I think looking forward to 2021, one thing we'd really want to kind of look at is engaging a lot more with the local community. As various people have mentioned, I think this whole experience has shown what is in our local community, and I think it's just finding ways to use that, whether it's online yoga classes with local businesses that would usually not even look at anything like that. So yeah, that's kind of our focus for next year from that point of view.
Brilliant. And I love that Neil Warnock got in there. I mean, you know, there's no problem that Neil Warnock can't fix. If we just got him in charge of the country against COVID, it would do one, wouldn't it? They'd be too scared. Right, Chris, we'll come over to you now. Obviously from Cornerstone Business Solutions. What's been your highlights of 2020 and what you're looking forward to? What's your business, sort of your New Year's resolution for the business going forward in 2021?
Yeah, thanks. Sorry I was late, everybody. There was a guy in our street had organised for a Santa, so everyone took the kids out and I was at the back of that queue, so unfortunately I was a little bit slow getting in, so sorry. And it's my first time on here, so thanks for having me. Hi, everyone. Your Cornerstone, we had big plans for this year, for geographically, for broadening our range of services. We were looking to move office, which we put a hold on, and which we'll be doing next year. And we started a marketing company at the beginning of the year. So yeah, we were really geared up for it, and obviously then the blocks were put on. That being said, like the other IT guys on the chat said that either existing customers or potential customers realised how much they needed IT. And people that hadn't really adopted any remote access solutions because they didn't need it or felt the need to review it and get it deployed really. So we're quite lucky that we were in an industry where people realised that they needed us and actually needed extra services from us. Obviously there's some businesses and industries that are really hard hit. My mother and father-in-law have got a restaurant in Saltburn, which has obviously been closed for a long time. So yeah, we do feel lucky that we were able to keep trading and actually grew within that time as well. We still picked up some new customers, and we actually set up another company a few months ago, providing large LED display screens. So we're talking like 90 square meter sort of size, down to around 10 to 15 square meters. And given the fact that we set it up in the tough times anyway, we knew what we were expecting, and we were surprised it even did anything. So we've been lucky. So next year should be a really big year for that business. We've only got 2 clients so far, but they're significant. They're of a significant size, which is great. Cornerstone Business Solutions, we're looking to move down into Leeds. We're looking to move into our own building so we can stick a big sign up and shamelessly advertise ourselves as being a local Stockton-based company who we give to lots of charities, and obviously we work with Alan at the foundation. Unlike you guys, I can't wait to get back to the football. I just want to get in our box and have a drink and start entertaining again, because it's a big part of what Cornerstone do. We like to get to know our clients outside of a boardroom, and it really helps us grow that relationship and win business as well. So yeah, big plans for next year. I still think we'll all be on hold for a few months of it, but hopefully the vaccine allows people to start moving about a bit more freely.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Kristen. It's lovely to have you along. No worries about being late. No one gets in the way of Santa Claus. Let's face it. You know, if there's ever going to be a reason that you were late into a meeting, then Santa Claus is absolutely it. So don't worry.
There was free hot dogs as well and mulled wine. So
I mean, yeah, come on, Santa Claus, free hot dogs and mulled. I would have been there just for the free hot dogs. So perfect. Right, we will finish, of course, with Jace in just a moment. Max Ook, you know, don't think you're escaping this just because you sat here organising things. Let's have your highlights.
Gosh, it's just been for me personally, it's been a pretty tough year. I'm going to sort of say my husband's been away throughout the whole period, and so when he comes home next week, and so me and my family, my 2 boys and my husband, we've only spent 7 weeks together this year. So running a business and having the opportunity to work on these projects genuinely makes me happy. It gives me a sense of focus, and it's definitely distracted me from days where I've sort of been wondering when I'm going to see Lee next and when we'll be together as a family. So that's the personal stuff. The professional stuff, they just blend so lovely. Ook's all about being a company that's about being a creative force for good and putting good stuff back into the world for people and the planet. We are ultimately about that. And so when we have the opportunity to create things like Stockton MET and Humans of the High Street and Indie Heroes, they generally come from a really good place, because we know we're doing profoundly good work. So it's not always about making a quick buck. So yeah, and then next year, I think we're going to adopt a company. We want to find an SME that needs some really cool marketing and ideation and innovation into their business, and we want to adopt them and be their company. We'll give them that support completely free of charge for a year, and that's it.
Brilliant, amazing. So if anyone knows any SMEs who are starting up and are looking for some fantastic marketing, then you know where to go. All right, let's head over to the Hampton, where we've got obviously Jason, John sat there. I'm sure we can get both your highlights of 2020 and looking forward to 2021 as well.
I'm going to hand over to John first, because we've not heard anything from him, and he's been sat here very quietly and patiently listening to my and seeing the light shine off my balding head. So I'll leave John to do it.
I think my highlight has been the fact that the hotel team has kept the hotel going all the way through the pandemic. Many of my colleagues in the industry have either lost their business, they still got their hotels closed. I was talking to a colleague today up in Newcastle, and she has 8% occupancy for December, you know, and it's just horrifying. So I think we've done particularly well here. We've been very, very fortunate with the location that we're in, with the business that we've got around us. We've secured more business this year. Many more contracts have come our way, a different type of business clientele than what we were used to when we first opened. And don't forget, we've only been open, what, 20 months now. So next year, we want to do more of the same. We want to be here, part of the community, very, very, very keen to work with the friends and colleagues on the high street, promoting their businesses. We have an awful lot of people that, you know, to put it bluntly, get sick and tired of our food and go out and find restaurants locally. Clearly, this time it's been very difficult because not all of them are doing takeaway, which is all they are able to do in lockdown. But many of them are providing our guests with different options, and so we want to work closely with the high street. As and when we come out and a bit more freedom evolves, with leisure guests coming back, because that's one element that we don't have at all at the moment. Those leisure guests have got time on their hands to go out and explore, go down these alleyways, find these businesses, spend their money. You know, we're really keen for that to happen. So that's what we're looking forward to for next year. And you know, I thank the ownership and the team here for keeping the hotel in such a brilliant position.
Brilliant, and we long to get back in there, John, as well, and enjoy a Stockton MET in absolute comfort with the fantastic drinks that you have over there at the hotel as well. Jace, do you want to have the final word?
Yeah, it just from me, it's just for my highlights and positives for next year. For me, that my highlights of this year have been working with some amazing people right across the board. The Mets have been amazing, so thank you for continuing to support them, because we did have doubts as to whether or not we should continue by Zoom when we were locked down, and I'm so glad that we did. Sam, I know you worked tirelessly in the background, so thank you, darling, for doing that for us. Without your hard work, we couldn't do all of these types of things. Max, again, thank you for all of the hard work. I know we pay you for doing it, but again, she do so much more over and above that we don't see, that a lot of people don't see, and they work tirelessly with their teams in the background to make sure that Stockton BID and the Met is really successful. I've got two amazing directors on the call with us right now, but we've got another 7 wonderful directors that support everything that we do, and quite honestly allow me to do the things that we do. There would be a different board of directors that would be wanting to say, you can't do that, you can't do that. They actually give me the freedom to do what we do with this town centre and to do the things that we do. Going forward, please everybody stay safe, have an amazing Christmas if you can. Do what you can with your friends and family. I know it won't be a lot. Do it by Zoom. Keep the R rate down where you can, but please enjoy, and we look forward to seeing you so much back in the Hilton and back on the High Street next year when we can. Matt, and again, no one said thank you to you yet, I don't think, but you know what? You took over doing this about 6 or 8 months ago. You probably did 1 or 2 in the Hilton, but I've managed this whole situation so well, professionally throughout. So thank you so much for doing that. You've been an absolute superstar. So again, thank you for everybody involved. My glass is empty, but cheers to everybody. Have an amazing Christmas, and we'll see you all in the new year.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you very much, Jess.
Have a good one.
Very Christopher. Right, well, just before you all jump off, I mean, I really should just let it end there because such beautiful words from Jace, but no, I couldn't let it go, could I? If you do like Met Live, if you've enjoyed this evening, please jump on LinkedIn, post the comment of support, tag Jason Maxwell, Stockton BID on there. As Jace mentioned, we're going to be back in 2021, January the 21st. You can find us on Eventbrite. Get that booked in before you head off for Christmas, and then you just know you've got something to look forward to when we're all feeling down and depressed in January, because it's the January blues by then. We're all putting a bit of weight. Big thanks to Sam, as mentioned there. She does sit quietly in the background and works away tirelessly, making sure the Met runs smoothly, from promotion through to booking, management of everything. And anyway, so thanks so much, Sam. Big thanks to Max as well at Ook for coordinating the content, liaising with contributors, shaping the narrative, as I say, not just on tonight's event, but on every event that we do throughout the year, and continuing to bring us all together at the Met. Do remember as well, Indie Street Heroes, if you've not seen it yet, why not? Go and have a look. It's on all the social media. Make sure you like it, share it, support it, tell everyone about it, because it's absolutely brilliant. And obviously keep supporting our local businesses. Make sure you head over to Instagram, Stockton BID _ the future is local, and you'll be able to find it there. Big thanks to Jace. I know a lot of people said thank you, but a big thank you to Jace as well, because without him, this would not happen. And he really is a driving force behind the bid and also leading into the Met as well. Stay safe, have a wonderful Christmas, and we look forward to seeing you all in the new year. See you later. Bye.
See you later.
Bye, everyone.